Hey y'all, welcome back to the PMO channel. How you guys doing? I know I don't normally show my face, but this is like the natural me, you know? This is who I am. Like, this is me living in the spirit of not being afraid anymore to like actually show my face on the internet. I know I've talked about that a lot in like my other videos, but it feels like freeing. If you watched my last video, you'll understand why I decided to not hide my face anymore. But basically, I stopped wanting to give life to something that wasn't real. Like, we all know that the organization is not real. We all know that the lies that they told us, they have no problem telling us a lie. So why should I hide my face to point out the lie? You know, there's no reason why I should hide myself anymore. So that's where I'm at. As you can see, I don't know if you've been following my videos, but I got my nose ring. All right, so as you can see, I'm in better spirits because I've just been working on myself. Last year, I've really spent a lot of time talking to myself, a lot of time crying, a lot of time investing time into me, because I've been using my businesses as a distraction to not focus on myself and heal myself. So it made me reevaluate everything. It made me reevaluate my relationship with my mother, my relationship with my sister, my relationship with my husband. You know, that has actually taken a turn as well. Just my relationship with all people and all things. And I have come to realize that life is short. And why am I going to spend the rest of my life hiding? You know, why am I going to spend the rest of my life not being my authentic self? Because there's so much power in being able to just be you. Think about it. Think about the power that you could potentially have. You know, when you are yourself, you are able to maintain your integrity. And what I found out as a witness, that is something that I struggled with maintaining my integrity, because I was always told what my integrity was, right? And it was always based on a rule that someone that I didn't know made up for me. And I just never could comprehend that. And then that made me look like a bad person, or look like I really didn't love God, because I just didn't understand everyone's integrity. Like, what is your integrity towards? Is it towards truly loving Jehovah, truly loving God, truly loving the Creator, the universe, you know, as I like to call him now, or call it now? You know, or is it just to follow these rules? And I found myself following rules as opposed to acting in unconditional love. And that's what the Creator is unconditional love. So as I move forward in this journey, I've just been consistently talking to my family, talking to my friends about, you know, my experiences outside of being a Jehovah's Witness, and, you know, really trying to express myself and say that, you know, no, this girl isn't loopy. You know, this girl is reasonable. She has a mind of her own, and she's able to think, you know. And as a Jehovah's Witness, you're unable to do that. I put this on my TikTok, but I'll share it with you. Basically, having control over someone's thoughts is so powerful. And that's what religion and politics do. They take you and say you belong to the specific group. So when you're with this group, you're only allowed to think, and you're only allowed to do the things that we say you're allowed to do. But we don't realize that our thoughts are our connection to God. It's our connection to the Creator. It's our connection to the universe. So then they take that power away, right? Because God, Jehovah, the Creator, the universe, he made us to be able to create. And if we're always living in that mindset that we're going to sin, or we're doing something bad and we're sinning against God, then that messes up our opportunity to create. I'm always big on like reading books, and right now I'm reading one by Joe Dispenza. If I can think of the name, I think it's like How to Become Supernatural, right? And it's not spiritism, it's actually metaphysics. I've been studying physics like crazy, and physics actually shows that God, the Creator, the universe, a higher power exists. And I say this because they gave an example. They said, when you are sad, you know, Sometimes people hold on to that sadness because they are addicted to feeling sad. They're addicted to feeling depressed. So what they do, they think about things that happened in the past over and over and over again. And then what happens is that those feelings re-manifest within your body. And your feelings is what creates your reality. So if you're constantly feeling sad, if you're constantly feeling depressed about something that happened yesterday or the day before or even last year or 5 years, for me, I was constantly living in that sense of like, okay, well, my family's not going to talk to me anymore, you know, I'm not going to have any of the friends that I grew up with, or, you know, I don't want them to think I'm a bad person. Like, I genuinely love God. I feel like I was like on this mission to prove myself to other people, but I realized I don't have anything to prove to them. You know, that is just something that I'm going to have to deal with me internally and work on being my authentic self. And being my authentic self is not living in that space of depression and sadness, because naturally I'm like a sweet and happy person. So what I'm working on is just being those things. I want to be happy, so I am happy. I want to be excited, so I am excited. So I'm excited about life. I'm happy about life, because the more that I exercise those feelings within me, that is going to create my reality. So what I've been doing these past couple of months is just like working on myself internally. And with that being said, it's not pretending to be happy. It's not pretending to be excited. It's actually genuinely finding those feelings within me, finding something to be excited for, finding something to be happy with, and then also meeting new friends and hanging out with new people. I used to think I was dumb. I really did. I really used to think I was dumb, that I just wasn't able to grasp the information, that I just really just didn't know how to be a Jehovah's Witness. And as much as I tried and tried to fit in, it just never worked. And I realized, and I mean this no disrespect to the people that I once hung out with, but I was honestly probably the smartest person in the room. And I'm gonna tell you this, and if you're watching this video, you're probably the smartest person in the room as well, because we were able to see outside the veil. We were able to allow ourselves to see outside of the matrix. And then once you see and you step back and you're like, well, I'm not doing that because that don't make any sense. And that's where that cognitive dissonance comes in, when you're like making external rules outside of yourself. But that's not what the rules that we were taught to be. You try to pacify some things that don't make any sense. Well, you know, I know that brother said something loud on the stage, but you know, that's just him, you know. Or I know that sister just insulted me, but maybe I can grasp some knowledge out of that. Like, no, that brother said something wild on the stage, and no, that sister was disrespectful. And that's how you should receive it. You're constantly making excuses for people. It's not a natural thing. And when I've walked out of those spaces, all right, those spaces where I had to make excuses for people's poor behavior, poor attitude, poor anything, I realized that there was nothing wrong with me. They are the ones that had the issues. They had an issue because they are not being their authentic self. They're being somebody that they think they're supposed to be. And I found the reason why I may have had a lot of tension within the organization is because we just spend so much time being with people that weren't being their authentic self. And the same for me. Like, I've spent so much time not being authentically me. But I found out, and this is to anybody that's on the fence about, you know, leaving or being this PMO life where you're half in, half out, let it go. There's so much power in just letting the shit go. Like, let it all go. You'll feel better. And I know it sucks. I know you are going to cry. I know you're going to have panic attacks. I know you're going to have those things. But you know what? There's the other side. And I think healing yourself internally is worth all of that. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll put my Instagram on the bottom because, you know. But if you follow me on Instagram, there's a video that I posted about the power in crying. You know, we laugh all day. We joke all day. You can be on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You know, we have a life full of laughter. But in that same breath, you know, we don't cry, because crying is like frowned upon. Like, oh, you better be strong, get it together, don't cry. But like, no, you need to cry, because literally tears hold feelings, tears hold emotions, and this is science, you know, scientifically, tears hold literal emotions and sadness and genetics. So when we cry, we release all that energy. Just like when we laugh and something tickles up us, we release the energy and then we move on. And life is about duality, right? Tears and laughter belong together. That's why you can laugh so hard you can end up crying, because tears and laughter belong together. So yeah, your life can be filled with laughter, but it can also be filled with tears too, because they are both healing. You know, I look at life so much more peaceful now, so much more happy now. And I would suggest any PMO out there, I think you should do exactly what I did. Open yourself a YouTube channel, go find some stock photos, record yourself, put the stock photo over your face, and just tell your story, because believe it or not, no one is watching you. And it's like, it's crazy to me, because I stressed out so much about people watching me and people talking about me. And even if they are talking about you, it's okay. You know, so what they're watching you, so what they're talking about you, because you are healing yourself, and you are the one that matters at the end of the day. You have to get yourself together. You have to heal yourself from years of being brainwashed. Okay? It's literal brainwash. And then once you step aside from that and you heal your trauma and you cry and you release that energy and you recognize, okay, I spent my life being in this religion and now I'm ready to walk away. You can look back at where you've came in life and you can say to yourself, wow, I escaped a cult. That is so freaking amazing. Like, that I was able to wake myself up, and then I look at the people that's still in there. And I'm going to talk about my family specifically, because my family still talks to me. So I'm super blessed with that. And I feel like that has probably put me ahead of a lot of people in my healing journey. But just being able to talk to my family and listen to how they feel, I realized a lot of their depression and a lot of their sadness really just has to do with them not being themselves. I think if they were able to look within, talk to themselves, reason with themselves, you know, I think they will feel better. But so many people are just afraid to just be one with themselves, because if you are one with yourself, then it comes accountability. Like, all right, I know my life is effed up. I know that, you know, I'm homeless or I need a car and, you know, I'm just waiting on Jehovah to give it to me. Like, no, you give it to yourself. You make the adjustments that you need to have the things that you need. And you don't stay in that sadness, because the creator, the person that created you, also created you with the ability to create as well. So why aren't you exercising that power? I say this so passionately because, man, I've just been reading so much and hanging out with different people and listening to different perspectives that my life has literally changed for the better. And, you know, yes, I'm still in this limbo space where I'm not exactly disfellowshipped, you know, but I do have people that have shunned me. I don't even give it any energy anymore, because right now where my brain is at, we have nothing in common anymore. And I love my family, but sometimes it's even difficult for me to talk to them, because I want to have like philosophical, expanded conversations, but they won't allow their mind, because they allow themselves to be in mental slavery through this organization. They won't allow their mind to reach expanded thought, expanded consciousness. And then therefore, I have to have the same repetitive conversations about what the organization said they can't do or what they can do. And it's just silly. Like, my mom was telling me, like, oh, well, if you're sick, make sure you call the elders. Why? Why do I have to call them? Like, they have no business in my life. Like, you know, for just regular life things, I gotta call people to make sure that I can do something and they not sure, so they gotta go read a watchtower, and the watchtower said, and if you really think about it, we don't know who writing these watchtowers, you know? We don't know who's writing any of these publications. They don't have any medical background. You know, they don't have any background in any type of technology. And not to discredit people, because I know people are smart, but once I stepped out of those spaces, and this is a girl that pioneered, that was out in service with these sisters all day long, spent all day with people. I've spent all day with these people. The education level is not where it needs to be. And if you spend all day with those people, you're either one, going to realize you're smarter than them, or number two, you're going to dumb yourself down to accommodate their thought pattern. And I'm so glad that I didn't allow myself to do that. It's so wonderful. Like, and I'm not even like being fake or disingenuous. Like, I really do feel this with inside. So what I want to do, this is what I've been brainstorming about. Like, I actually want to do a documentary, but you know, I've just been expanding some of my thoughts about like how I want to do this documentary. But I kind of want to just, especially with Serena Williams getting baptized, I'm like, Serena, do you even know what you got yourself into? So between that, Quinta Burson, she had a pool party in South Jersey that I went to. Okay, so and then she talked about it with Charlemagne. If you don't know who Charlemagne is, it's the host of the Breakfast Club. But she talked about her not being disfellowship, and you know, her growing up as a witness. And I noticed she was a witness because I've hung out with her before. You know, there's a lot of elite celebrities that are Jehovah's Witnesses, which I just don't even understand how that correlates. But I want to kind of talk about that and really break down the religion, because I feel like people are like blind and they don't really know. So I want to do, like, you know how like Netflix did the Tiger King and they broke it up into like four parts or 5 parts. Like, I want to do that with Jehovah's Witnesses. So first I want to touch like the CA cases, and then I want to talk about, you know, the doctrine and how it's wrong, the brainwashing, you know, the racism, because did we not look at those governing body members? Like, think about it. They brag about being this religion that's all around the world, and you know, Jehovah this and Jehovah that. And honestly, why isn't your governing body members representative of that? Why are they all white men? Where's the Asian men? Like, let's forget the black people. Like, where's the Asian men? Where's the Indian men? Where are the Hispanic men? Why are they all white except one person who is on his way out anyway, because he's like 90, and you know, basically the token, and he's supposed to be the jolly old black guy, but he's not really nice. He's an asshole too. So, you know, it's just so great being able to see a beyond the veil and being able to wake up people slowly but surely. I'm talking to my family on a regular basis where I can like, that don't make any sense. Especially, I dug in, because my family, we are black first, okay? F the Jehovah Witness stuff, F being white, I'm not white, excuse me, F being a woman, forget all those things. I am black first. So with that being said, when the governing body members get appointed and nobody looks like me, that's a problem. And yes, race shouldn't matter, but it does. We live in a world that it does. I live in the United States, so it does. Race does matter. And if you want to expand upon that topic, I have a whole video about how I believe that the governing body is racist. That's my opinion. But anyway, yes, I want to do a documentary. So if you have any ideas on what I can add to my documentary, that would be wonderful. But there's that protest that's happening October 31st, so I definitely want to get footage of that. And I was even thinking about getting footage of someone maybe even like disassociating themselves. Like, that would be really dope. And I think that is what life is calling me to do, because if you really tap into your internal self tells you what to do, what your purpose is in life, and where you're supposed to go. You just gotta not be afraid to listen to that voice in your head. And it's not like a crazy voice. The voice is you, you know. That voice is attached to the creator, the source, the universe, the God, you know. So when that voice in my head saying, Isis, you should do a documentary about Jehovah's Witnesses, I think I should listen to that, because I also thought about doing a protest as well, but then someone beat me to the punch. So we connected, we're all checked in, and I think it will be a powerful message, because I want to really show people what we as Jehovah's Witnesses went through, and how traumatic those experiences are for us. It's not just I'm leaving my religion, it's like I'm leaving my life, I'm leaving who I think I am, and discovering me all over again. It's pretty interesting. It's definitely a roller coaster, but I would love to do something like that. So that is where my mind is at. I know I haven't did a video in a long time. I hope this video is well received, because yeah, I'm just out here, you know. Maybe I'll get disfellowshipped after this video, but guess what? I don't care. I don't care. In fact, if the brothers make it to this end of the video, just know that I've disassociated myself, so you don't even have to send me a letter. Like, I am no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's the end of that. And I'm sorry if I'm hurting people I love, but, you know, research the religion for sure. And I will do my part in making sure that I do my exposure of what my internal self is calling me to do. So that is it for this video. I will see you in the next. On to the next video.